There's a ton of noise out there. So how do you get decision makers to pay attention to your brand? Start a podcast and invite your ideal clients to be guests on your show. Learn more at sweetfishmedia.com.
You're listening to the B2B Growth Show, a podcast dedicated to helping B2B executives achieve explosive growth. Whether you're looking for techniques and strategies or tools and resources, you've come to the right place. I'm James Carberry.
And I'm Jonathan Green.
Let's get into the show. Welcome back to the B2B Growth Show. We are here today with Rachel Krug. She is the Director of Product Marketing at Right Networks. Rachel, how are you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me, James.
I am really excited to have you. We're going to be talking today, Rachel, about why product marketing matters for growth. And you've got 5 specific points that we're going to be talking about. But before we get into those today, Rachel, I'd love for you to explain to our listeners what Right Networks is and what you and your team are up to over there.
Sure. Right Networks is a company that takes desktop and legacy accounting applications and moves them to the cloud so that CPA firms, accounting professionals can connect with SMB clients, share data, build better relationships. We really enable accounting software to move to the cloud.
I love it. So Rachel, in your role, you know a thing or two about product marketing, and we're going to be focusing this interview on, why product marketing matters for growth. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is positioning. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. So positioning is defined as the place a brand occupies in the mind of its target audience. And a marketing strategy that works and enables growth aims to make a brand occupy that distinct position relative to competing brands in the mind of the customer. So, for example, at Right Networks, I position us as a trusted partner to CPA firms, accounting professionals, and small businesses, which is really different than our competitors. We are the market leader in cloud hosting for QuickBooks Desktop and other accounting-based applications because we understand our customers' needs more deeply than other people. And we realize that promise through a solutions-oriented sales team, an enhanced onboarding experience, and an unparalleled technical support. So I think not only is it positioning and kind of where you want the brand to stand in your prospects and customers' mind, but then it's living into that vision through how you interact with prospects, how you interact with new customers, and how you support existing customers through their life cycle.
Got it. And so that positioning was that established by you as the product marketer on the team?
That's correct. So to establish that positioning, I pulled together stakeholders from customer success, sales, operations, and product to really dig into what it is that Right Networks does and why we're different. So it was certainly a collaborative and group process. We spent about 5 hours together, honestly, in a workshop type format. And then I came away from that workshop with key takeaways, distilled it into our value proposition and our pillars. So that we were all on the same page about how we talked about networks and what it was that we were really doing.
I love it. Okay, so moving past positioning, the other thing that is crucial for growth that falls in the product marketer's wheelhouse is competitive intelligence. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. So competitive intelligence is another key task of a product marketer that also enables the drivers of growth, acquisition, retention, and revenue. In my experience, it's pretty clear competition never stands still, and other companies are always exploring new initiatives, which you need to anticipate and at times mitigate. For example, I was at a small college in New Hampshire, as a previous work experience, Franklin Pierce University, and there was a constant price war going on between competing universities to win student deposits after they were accepted for admission. So you'd accept the student for admission to Franklin Pierce, but then another college would offer them more financial aid, and there's really this competitive dynamic going on. So I helped the team come up with value-based messaging and new academic programs to entice the students to come to the college for value, like helping to start the school's first health sciences program.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. This third piece, Rachel, that we're gonna talk about is messaging. What's the product marketer's role as it relates to messaging?
So the product marketer does the positioning. They do the key messages, then work with the team to make those messages customer facing. And in my experience in product marketing, it is always dramatically impactful for growth how you state your message. So I have ample experience running A/B tests, and I've seen just a tweak in one or two words have a dramatic impact on something like a click-through rate, which depending on your product might be something on your website that's creating a lead, or a click-through rate might be a step in your product that you're trying to get more people to do. So really just how you're encouraging people through that funnel, through the product journey, and how you're talking to them makes a huge difference.
Okay. And is that messaging, I'm assuming that messaging is happening across several channels. It's the messaging that's going out, via email to users. It's the kind of the in-app messaging or is there a specific channel that you're referring to?
No, you're right that it's multiple channels. And I think the job of the product marketer is to keep that message consistent across the channels. For example, at Right Networks, we have messaging on our website. We do email communications with customers. We have a solutions-oriented sales team that talks to prospects. So keeping people aligned on that value prop, how we are that positioning, and then what are the key messages that we want to be communicating to prospects and customers, again, really so that we make sure that they're going to find value in our product, that they are finding value in our product.
So Rachel, this fourth piece that we're going to dive into today has to do specifically with driving revenue, and there are obviously a lot of different ways that a product marketer can do this, but can you talk to us about what this looks like for you and share the example that we talked about offline for how a product marketer specifically drives revenue?
Sure. So I think that the growth levers, acquisition, retention, revenue. In terms of revenue, I think there's a couple things that product marketing can be thinking about. The first is to make sure that the offer for your prospects has value for them. So does it have the right features, the right benefits that is really going to entice people to buy that product? Then, once you've established your product, how do you package it? So is there an opportunity to put higher value features in a higher value package? And really then how do you price it? So pricing is, I think, a critical growth lever that at times can be overlooked by companies. So what is the right price for that? Understanding, are you a value brand? Are you a bargain brand? How does that work with your prospects, customers? So that's your core offer, I'd say. Then I think another way that product marketing can add value by providing companies with revenue is thinking of additional offers that make sense for your customers. So is there a certain segment in your customer base that might benefit from a partner offer? And just really always keeping in mind that you want to be offering a core product that has value, and then any other adjacent products that really have value for your customers.
And who else are you working with on the team to come up with those things that are really focused on driving revenue? Does that fall primarily under the product marketing team, or are you working closely with other folks on making those calls?
So I think it's at Right Networks, it's certainly a really collaborative effort between sales, marketing, and customer success. So it is a group effort. I have a team at Right Networks that supports our efforts in content, customer communications, operations, and partnerships.
And this last piece that we're going to be talking about today, this role of the product marketer as it relates to growth, is really the product marketer's ability to influence the product roadmap. Can you talk to us about that?
Sure. So I think that ties into our last point where we were talking about, revenue and features of a product. I think that as a product marketer is really in touch with prospects and their needs. They hear things about market dynamics or market needs that evolve over time and can communicate those needs to a product owner who can then put them on a product roadmap. So I think that a product marketer is in touch with their prospects. They collect data around what features are relevant for prospects, and then use that data to influence a product roadmap to really be building the best product they can be.
I love it. Rachel, this has been fantastic. We have not talked about product marketing a whole lot on the show, and so I really appreciate you diving into it with us today. If there's somebody listening and they want to stay connected with you, or they want to learn more about Right Networks, what's the best way for them to go about doing that?
So to learn more about Right Networks, feel free to visit our website, www.rightnetworks.com. To connect with me to learn more about product marketing and growth, please do so on LinkedIn. It's Rachel Krug. And then I also have a Twitter at Rachel A. Krug.
Love it. Awesome, Rachel. Thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, James. Bye.
To ensure that you never miss an episode of the B2B Growth Show, subscribe to the show in iTunes or your favorite podcast player. This guarantees that every episode will get delivered directly to your device.
If you'd like to connect with B2B executives from all over the world, make sure to join our private Facebook community. There are some incredible conversations happening inside this group. To join, visit b2bgrowthshow.com/FB.
Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.